Hello, everybody. This is Paul Pon. I'm super excited to talk about Talking Photos version 3.0, our brand new update. We've spent almost a year on this stuff, and I'll show you how all of this works together is going to blow your mind away, but also makes it very easy to use. So without any further delay, let me jump into my screen right now and show you the features step by step. I'll answer all your questions, and I'll also show you exactly what each new feature does. How do you use it and how do you get results from it? Whether it's traffic, leads, and sales, more reach, more brand value, whatever you want to do. Okay, so let me do that right now. The first feature update that we made is to Singing V3. You see this feature right here. So that you'll see and you will click on it and it'll show up with 3 different options for you to pick from. What this basically does is it allows you to create lip synced singing videos with a single photo. And here's the beautiful part. It also comes with the character playing instruments, as you can see here with the guitar and that sort of thing. So let me show you some examples of this and can explain the difference between each of them. So you have close up, high quality, close up, fast, and then close up, normal. So what is the difference between all 3 of them? Close up high quality focuses on the lip sync specifically because as you get closer, and then the close up is a lot more for the camera because your actual aspect ratio, meaning when the person is in front of the screen and actually singing, you want to make sure that the singing and the vocals are perfect, right? When the lips are syncing. So that's what is focused on with the close up high quality. That's why it's called high quality. Now, in the case of close up fast, this will allow you to generate much faster videos, meaning it'll generate much faster. The rendering time and generation time will be extraordinarily much faster. However, the drawback of that is in some cases, the lip sync might not be as good as with close up. So the drawback here is you want to wait longer for higher quality or you want to get it faster, depending on the scenarios and the songs you pick. And the third one is where you have a character playing a guitar. Okay. So in this particular case, you have the person playing a guitar, person playing a piano, a person playing, for example, if you will, a violin, drums, whatever. Okay. The idea is that when that person is playing that instrument, the lips should be easily visible, right, for the songs to be played. So think about it where it'll work with any instrument where the lips are visible and the person is playing it. Okay. So we created an algorithm on that approach. So let me show you some examples and then I'll show you how to create that from scratch. You can even use your own photos and make yourself into, if you will, a singer of a video with lip sync for songs that you bring in with clonevoice.ai or the ones you upload as well. I'll get to that in a second.
A path of moss beneath my feet, twilight whispers where shadows meet. A willow bows, her arms outstretched, silver threads in the quiet stretch. A river hums where the starlight falls. I was dust, I was broken, shadows claim my name. In the silence I was choking, but I burned through the flames. The dawn hums low, a quiet spark, shadows sleep, they leave their mark. A rhythm waits, it pulls. Silver whispers through the sky, moonlight dances soft and shy, dreams. Soft winds carry secrets high through the velvet of the sky. Moonlight paints the sun spills
All right, let me give you an example of the close-up high quality. Okay, so you just go click on the close-up high quality, go next, and then you choose the aspect ratio. Do you want a 16 by 9 or 9 by 16? Some mobile device, and that's your thing. Go to create new character here, and then you'd want to put a generate face, right? And then you have a human, 3D cartoon, and animal here. So I'll just do human for the timing to explain to you how that works, so you get an understanding. So I'll upload my own photo here. So let me pick. So I have my photo here. Let's select it. And there we go. So this is my photo. I've put that in here. So now what you can say is like a man wearing a hoodie um, and and singing. Let's say, okay. And then there's generate. So just make sure that in this particular case, it's close up. It doesn't have any instruments or anything. What we're focusing on is the close up shot of lip sync in particular, right? There you go. We generated this image. Now we'll make this image sing. Okay. So let's go next. And then you can give it the color of the hoodie and everything else. Okay. Now here you can have import audio option where you can import any music, songs, that sort of thing. Or you have the CloneVoice.ai integration. We highly, highly recommend CloneVoice.ai integration. So if you haven't already gotten CloneVoice, get it. If you already have CloneVoice, do this integration. And I'll explain that integration in a bit as we go along. But the idea here is that we've done an algorithm shift because remember, this is the world's best lip sync for singing in particular. There's nothing out there, especially for what 3-minute songs or whatever you can achieve with talking photos. And no other application in the market can do. The closest are do 8-second clips. They charge you $1 per minute and all that kind of credits-based stuff. This is the best for the best price, which is why we're going to be raising the Talking Photos price eventually in the next year. All right. So the main idea is with CloneVoice.ai, we've done an algorithm shift where you can now, the lip sync is perfect when the songs are generated in CloneVoice V2 version, okay? Because we've created the singing algorithm for the songs and we created the lip sync algorithm. So when you merge both of them, of course, you have more control over it. As opposed to you bring any song, we can't control the lip sync because they might be too loud of an instrumental or it's not optimized for lip sync like we've done with CloneVoice integration. So let me show you. So let's just pick a demo music track or whatever that I put in here, and then you just select, and then you can play it if you want to do, and then you go next, and then you can give it a name. So in this particular case, this is I believe a pop song, and I can just give it a name, and then once you click on the render video, your video will start rendering, okay? And with the lip sync and the singing. So let me show you how this looks like right now.
Started on rose-glass concrete dreams. Only saw sirens chasing bright beams. Cut my head down, dodging the schemes. Fading off a block, defied extremes. From the hub city to the world stage, I turn a new page. Carved in race, blood, self-upholding. That's my lineage. Bought this kingdom brick by brick, no more cage. Now they know the name and of that age. Remember sleeping on the floor, ramen ain't grit. Now the checks quit, my future is lit. Every wrong turn I took, gotta wait. Ready for pleasure, forged a diamond, I gotta admit. From the hub city to the world stage, I turn a new page. Counting race, but self-a couldn't, that's my lineage. Built this kingdom brick by brick, no more cage. Now they know the name and of that age.
Pretty cool, right? Now let me show you the normal videos of instrument like a guitar, drums, or piano, whatever. So in this particular case, I'm going to try the guitar, okay? So same thing. I'm going to use a different photo of mine in this particular case, just to show you as an example. So let me try this. So this is my photo just taken with a phone, effectively, nothing really fancy here. I'll put generate face male. Now in this particular case, I'm going to say a man playing the guitar in like let's say in his house studio, let's say, okay? So it could be any instrument like piano, anything where the lips are visible. You don't want like a trumpet or something where you're blowing the instrument because then the lips are of no use, right? So let's just generate. Let me show you how this looks like. There we go. That generated me. And if you notice carefully, when I didn't put any clothing differential, it used the exact t-shirt from my photo. You see this? Exact t-shirt color and everything. My hairstyle is the same. Lighting is similar and all that. So if you want to, you can change the clothing too. So for example, a man wearing a brown shirt, okay, playing the guitar in his house, and let me regenerate. Let me show you this, how this result looks like. So you have the option to change the color of your clothing and that sort of thing. There we go here. So you see this, how it changed the color to brown. There we go. So you can play tricks like this. So you can do it through prompting. And this allows you to give more realism and more customization for you. Go next now. And now again, I'll go to my CloneWise AI integration because I highly recommend you to CloneWise. It's the best lip sync in the market. We spend months, I'm telling you, to get this integration moving, to get the lip sync to be high quality. It's the hardest thing to do because you have to start from the song, you have to start from the lip sync, and you have to merge both of them together with an image that you're starting off with. So there's a lot of complexities that go behind it. So it's a good excuse for you to get CloneWise.ai if you haven't already. Just go to CloneWise.ai and grab it and integrate it because it'll help you fully have that workflow set up properly. And this also works with voices as well, which I'll come to, which has CloneWise.ai's voices can be brought into for lip sync talking as well. All right. So now let's click import. So I'm going to basically put any kind of song, really. I mean, there's multiple songs here, right? Song about a broken heart, or like song, there's a rap song, a Christmas song, or whatever, right? So let's say I'm just gonna do like song about being heartbroken. All right, let's just do that. Select, and then go. You can play it and you can test it, and then go next. And I'll say Paul. Let's say singing, if you will, pop song. Okay, with the guitar. Like generate. Let me show you how this video looks like as well, so you get a real idea of the quality of the lip sync, quality of the animations and the hand movements, and of course, the quality of the end result. It's just mind-blowing because again, competing platforms cannot do this level of quality, this level of length, because now you're bringing in a 3.5 minute song. And thirdly, this level of hand movements and motions and all that. And even the ones, the very, very so-called best ones, they limit based upon scene length, like 8 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever, or they will charge you by the minute, like $1 a minute, $2 a minute, that sort of thing. So this is what makes it extraordinary when it comes to Talking Photos' lip sync technology here.
Empty room, silent phone. Echoes of your voice, I'm all alone. Pictures on the wall, they start to fade. Like the promises we made. My world is a lonely blur.
Next, we have the replicate motion feature. So you see this one right here, brand new feature. It's something they've added in recently. It's just the most mind-blowing thing you can ever see because these things go viral like crazy. So first, let me show you some demos of how this actual feature, what does it do? Secondly, how do you create videos like that in the application, okay? So first, let's check out a couple of demos.
With Talking Photos AI, you can instantly transform any image into a realistic talking, singing, or dancing video within minutes. Simply upload an image or create one using AI, then upload your audio or select from our build. With Talking Photos AI, you can turn any image into a realistic talking, singing, and dancing video in minutes. Upload an image or create one with AI. Upload your audio or choose from our AI voice library and instantly.
As you've seen in those examples, you saw one which was talking and one was dancing. So whatever video you basically show as an example, this will replicate those motions. Okay. So if it is a talking video, it'll replicate the talking. And then if it's a dancing video or whatever with a lot of motions, it'll actually replicate that. And then you can give it an actual image, whether it's a cartoon character, it's a real human, whatever, and it will just basically mimic and replicate that exact step-by-step motion. Okay, pretty cool because you can effectively, basically me talking here, I can convert myself into a woman, a cartoon character, whatever, and I never have to be in front of the camera effectively because of it, right? So basically, if you are trying to do dancing as an example, let me show you. So if you're going to dancing, go here, and then let's say, for example, we pick a vertical video now. Okay, let's say I want to upload this into TikTok or something, or YouTube Shorts or whatever. So now here I can do 3D cartoon, for example, and let's say I want it to be a 3D cartoon, and then now I can effectively generate a character. Let's say a 3D blonde cartoon princess. Okay. And then you can just click generate. So now what it's going to do is it's going to generate us the actual 3D character. And this is the character who will perform those actions effectively. Okay. So now you click on next, let's say, and then now you give it a specific video. So for instance, there's two options here. There is one called replicate and then one called swap. And you'll see question marks here that explain each of them. So you see there, this only, like, replicate only takes the motion of the character and applies it to your scene, and then swap will actually completely replaces the character as well with the one in your scene, but retains the motion of the original background. So in other words, let's say, for example, I'm shooting this video. See my background here, there's a wall behind me. So let's say, for example, only my face and my body and me has to be replaced with a 3D character. Then you would do the swap. So that way the background stays the same. However, let's say, for example, I have a human face and a background. I want to convert it to an animated scene now, like a 3D character with a 3D background, like a 3D castle or whatever. Then you would do the replicate. Okay. And you can also use this dynamic zoom, which is a beta feature, which allows you to have a little bit better quality, especially for human videos. We recommend you to turn this on so that it gives you a little bit better quality, because it's going to focus more on the human expressions and motions and facial intonations and stuff like that. Okay. So now I just have to give it a video. Let's say, for example, I'm going to give it like a video that I wanted to replicate. So let's say this is the video that I wanted to, replicate. So let me. Character, you can do the same thing for a real human, that sort of thing for dancing. Now you can also do it for singing in terms of basically for a talking person as well, right? So that there's vocals. So whatever the original vocal will have, it will be able to replicate that as well. So for example, I'm going to create a video, going to replicate motion, and I do speaking here, right? Where the speech is there. In the dancing case, there's no lip sync or speech. So let's say you go click on it, like next, and then now again, I go into 16:9, I click create a generate a new character. So let's say, for example, I wanted to create, let's say, a 65-year-old grandmother wearing, let's say, for example, sweater. Okay, a white sweater. Okay, and then I click generate. So now what's going to happen is now this is the character who will perform the exact same motions of that original video. So let's say, for example, click next. This is the grandmother. So click next. And now what I can do is I can just swap the grandmother as well in that particular scene. So in this particular case, if I go back here, I have an example here. So my example is this talking video, let's say. So now what I'm trying to do effectively is, if you look carefully, I'm only gonna replace this person right here. Okay, I'm only gonna replace, everything else will be the same. The background will stay the same. That's what we mean by swap. So let me do that right now. So if I go I select this video, I select this, I click swap, and then now I click next. Now I'm gonna have the other option you see here where it says, do you want to use voice changer to replace the audio? This is useful where, like, if you want to change a male's voice to a female's voice, or the particular voice that was in the video that I gave as a reference, if I want that voice to be changed into some other voice, let's say an older woman's voice or whatever in this particular case, then I would use that. Okay, and then I would give the sample audio to do. So in this particular case, if I want it to sound like me, I would give my sample audio, right? It's going to change it to sound like me. If I want to give it like another voice, like this, somebody else who's older, younger, whatever, I would give that as a sample audio. You just have to give a few seconds and it will basically replace and it'll keep the timeline and everything the same. Okay, useful in cases where, for example, you have a man speaking, you want to convert it to a woman's voice, or you want to change the basically the accent of that person or whatever into another person. Just give us the sample video and it'll automatically create. Okay, in this particular case, I'm going to leave it as is and then click next, and then I'm going to say talking replicate motion video, and then I'll do click on the render video. Okay, so that's basically it. It'll start creating. I'll show you how this looks like right now. So let's check this out. Pretty cool, right? I mean, I just did it for 5 seconds, but you get the point here. It's incredible. Look at the quality here. Let me just even zoom it in a little bit. You can see the pretty cool. So this is the idea of Vertigo. So you can actually make the character move, dance, speak. It'll take it from the original video. And the beauty here is you can even do it where, for example, I want to take any video generated within Talking Photos and I want to change the character. I can then just basically download it or use it from my media gallery and then use that as well within the actual application. So for example, if I like this Paul pop song video, for example, and I want to use some of the emotions there, I can do so. If I like anything else, right, it will basically replicate that. So you can change characters and that sort of thing as well, which is pretty cool because it's taking just an image. I just had a photo of that person I generated and now I'm making them speak with perfect, let's say, lip sync or hand movements and all that, and never have to be in front of the camera. So pretty cool. So let me show you some other cool features, but you will just be excited to know. So let me know in the chat box, whatever I explained so far made sense to you. So we talked about what so far. Let's recap a little bit. We talked about singing V3, okay, and the 3 options there: close up, high quality, close up, fast generation, and then also playing instruments, let's say more far shot, if you will. Then we talked about replicate motion, which is the newest feature we've added, where you can just give either the videos you already created within Talking Photos, or even, let's say, external videos you want to bring in and you want to make the character act, sing, talk, dance like that video, like for like, by changing either just the character to a 3D character from a real human or a human to human from an image that you give, and then just effectively have that person effectively do the motion, right? Replicate that motion. That's why we named it replicate motion. So both these are very powerful to create viral videos, and you never have to be in front of the camera to be able to achieve the end result. Again, keeping the lip sync in mind, keeping the quality in mind, and of course, keeping the end result in mind, the outcome of actually you creating content that actually drives results. So far we covered 2. I'll cover a couple more now, brand new features that we've added in. And so if you're ready to go, let me know in the chat box. All right, a couple of questions that came in that I want to answer as well while we're at it. So let me actually talk about it. So one of the comments that came in, if you will, let me just adjust this a little bit. 1 sec here. All right, cool. So one of the comments that came in was this one. I want to be transparent, so let's put it out there, right? Well, this is not the world's best lip sync. Okay, what is this? I've never heard about it, but let's say lemon slice something is perfect. I don't want to be rude, blah blah blah, right? So let's talk about this, right? Let's be upfront. So I opened up this website. I've not been here before, so I'm just checking it right now. So I went to the pricing. Okay. So this is what I want to mention, right? Because you got to be transparent out there. So this particular platform, obviously it's a monthly platform. So again, first of all, TalkingPhotos.ai, since when we released it, think about a year ago or something, to now, we've never charged extra money for people who paid for it. It was less than $100 lifetime access. You got all the free updates. You're getting this free update as well. And we've improved it over the years. Now, check this out. In this particular case, let's talk about this $40 a month plan, right? So they can say unlimited agents, all that stuff is irrelevant. But look at this one here. 1 minute long videos with this $40 a month plan. Okay. So in other words, if you own this platform or you own Talking Photos in 2 months, right? You're basically in the lesser 1 minute. Talking Photos can do up to 5 minutes of lip sync talking per video and unlimited videos, or up to 3.5 to 4 minutes of songs. So someone was asking a question about like a longer, like if it's 3 minutes 44 second song, what do we do? So when you import it, we adjust it, but generally we recommend between that 3 to 4 minutes. But either way, you can't even do that with a $40 a month plan. You got to get this $100 a month plan to get 5 minute videos, and there's no singing lip sync because it's unique to, if you will, Talking Photos, because we worked on it, right? Now, the second thing that I want to mention here is credits. Okay, what is this? What do these credits mean? Even if it's like, let's say, even assume, okay, wow, okay, I can afford to pay this $100 a month. What happens here? The problem becomes when you go into this. Okay, let's say monthly here instead of annually. Again, the same problem, right? The idea here is it's all hidden generally here. So here, Studio V 2.7 apparently it gives us 16 minutes of generation time with a $40 a month plan. Okay. And then this 1080p gives you 18 minutes. But is that what? What is that? Just video, just lip sync? What is it? This is the issue. Okay. You're going to need a $100 a month plan. And even that doesn't match what Talking Photos can do. Okay. And you got all the free updates. And just being clear, because I don't have to sell it because most of you already got it. But I want to be clear when we are talking about Talking Photos, it is the best in terms of value, in terms of the updates we're making. And of course, it's only going to get better and better. These folks, like at the end of the day, they're basically using some other integration. They don't have a machine learning team in-house like we do. So what happens here? They're just going to integrate with something else. What is that something else? Let me show you. So what is that something else? So if you go in here, there are these companies like, which is what these companies are using. Whatever lemon, whatever company that you saw there, that's what they're using, right? This is one of the lip sync platforms. You'll check. So this is what they do. So look at this one right here. Each request, let me repeat that again. Each request, okay, costs $5 per minute to generate with this. Okay, it's what is this? This is by Sync Lip Sync 2 Pro model apparently. Okay, now there's another one right here. This is by a company called Creatify. They charge what for lip sync? Again, not songs. Song lip sync is different. This is just lip sync for talking. Okay, $1 per minute. Okay, let me zoom in here again. What does it say here? $1 per minute. So in other words, if you did, let's say 5 minute videos, you did 5 videos. That's like 25 minutes. If you did songs, you did 10 songs. Even if this doesn't even do songs, but let's even assume if they do, well, that adds up quickly on top of the monthly plans and all other stuff you got to do. Now, this is Kling, another top technology, right? That here. So it's, what is it? 0.014 per video seconds. If your video duration is 3 seconds, you will be billed as a 5-second video. Okay, interesting. So in other words, let's say it is effectively coming to, again, $1 per minute, right? $1 per minute. You can tweak it, run around circles, whatever, but it comes to about $1 per minute or more, right? So the point I'm making is that we spend so much time trying to make it affordable for you, and not just that, but make it as best as possible. Can it be better? Of course, everything can be better. But the point is that this update, that's why it took so long. Now, the second thing I want to mention here, and another question that came in, is that so when it says guitar, you can add your own instruments? Of course. Yeah. So how it's going to work is like this. So when you go in here, so let's say, for example, I go to Singing V3 and you see here, I go into this step. So when I go in here and I click create character, right? So let's say, for example, it's my own photo, right? So let's say, for example, so like going to my media library, if it's my own or any generated video, it's okay. Image, let's say, it's okay. But I'm just talking about in the case of like your own photos, whatever. So let me actually put my photo. It should be in this folder, I believe. Yeah, here. So this is my photo, let's say, this one right here. So what I can do, I can put the gender male, and I'll say man playing the violin, let's say, or piano, right? You get my point. Piano. Playing the piano, wearing a brown hoodie. Let's say, I don't know, just made up something. Then you can generate it, and now it's going to generate that style of image of me playing it, that instrument. Just make sure, though, again, okay, just make sure that the character in this particular case is actually, the lips are visible. Like, you don't want an instrument where that person's playing a trumpet or something. You see this right here? Like, I'm playing the actual piano here. And the other cool thing is my lips are clearly visible, right? That's the key thing when it comes to lip sync. Okay. Does that make sense? That was the other question that came in. I want to answer. So yes, you can do that too. Now, the other question that came in is own photos is even better. Correct. This took a long time because with character consistency, you have to also account for lighting, skin tone, other factors, right? So if you see here, it even kept the background because I didn't ask it to change the background, right? So you see my background here, I'm in front of some kind of window blinds. So it kept the window blinds, you notice, right? So this is also very time consuming to be able to do so. Second thing, this is a vertical image, you see? So what it did is actually stretch the image and actually added that extra variables. If you want the exact same clothing too, you can keep it. Now, the other question that came in is how can we monetize these videos? Just upload it to TikTok, YouTube Shorts. You can upload it to YouTube, all that kind of good stuff. And we'll be doing more training on that topic because this training is going to be about the features that we have available. Okay. Now, can I copy any dance? Was the other question that came in for the replicate motion. Yes. So you can upload any video and then it will replicate the motions and including the voice. The example I showed you, for some reason, the audio was not playing for the voice. But yes, if the character is speaking and talking like what I'm doing right now, it will replicate that. If the person is basically even dancing and moving their lips and singing, it will do that too. Effectively, the same motion of the original video will be replicated or copied is the better word if you want to use it, right? That's the other question. Now, the other question that can we create personalities from scriptures and that sort of thing? Yes. What I would recommend, though, just be clear, for that use case, go to create video, and then you go into, if, let's say if it's 2D, 3D cartoon, or in their singing V3, do the actual cartoon character. Okay. So, for example, if I did close up high quality as an example, and I go in here. So you see how you have human 3D cartoon. I would do the 3D cartoon. So what I would do then is, let's say, for example, let's say a Greek god Zeus, right? Zeus is in his I don't know, standing in front of his castle, let's say, right? So and then you can do that, right? And just gonna make this is better. Like cartoon is always better for like personalities, and you can even do it for like personal. Like this one, like I think it's because I messed it up here, but the idea is the same, right? So like for example, do it in a 3D cartoon. Okay, always remember. So in the case of this, I did the close up. That was my mistake. So you can do the normal for singing, and then Zeus playing the instrument, right? That's what you want to do. So or the other one is 3D cartoon video. This is what you'd want to use for talking and stuff. So like you, that's good in live. Messes up, then you know how the workflow works, right? So anyway, so in this case, like here, yeah, you can do the 3D cartoon. So a 3D cartoon, Greek god Zeus, right? Standing in front of his castle. Okay, we want to put the 3D cartoon because that's more of if you will, what do you like more? It's going to give you that effect of what you're trying to achieve. Okay. And then now it's going to basically generate that character. Okay. So that's the basic idea. So that's how we separated it. Like when you want to close up, it'll only do close up shots. So then I'll have to say agree Gazu's, let's say close up shot or whatever with attributes like beard or whatever, wearing a crown or whatever you want to do. That's what you'd want to achieve. Okay. Is that clear? So that's the basic idea of what we are trying to achieve here effectively. Okay. Now, a couple of other questions I'll come back to in just a bit, but I want to talk about it while this thing is being generated. I'm going to talk about a few other things that we did. Okay. So first thing that we did, if you go back to the Talking Photos application, did you notice a couple of things here, right? So we, if you will, right, like if you noticed here, this example here, right? Let you see how in this particular case, her hands and motions are much clearer when she's talking. We changed the motion capabilities for our talking characters as well. So one of the requests for Talking Photos V1, okay, was when I create a video, right? So let's say like I go to create video, I go to human video, like this human video, let's say, and then I create a character, like just go into character here. One of the things was, hey, Paul, like when you upload an image, let's say of my image, you're asking me to do a face swap because my skin tone is maybe a white skin or brown skin or whatever, right? And it's not matching the face swap. And I just want my character. That's what we solved first across singing, across even the talking. So for example, if you noticed in my own example, my own image example, right? You saw that under here, you see this? It matched my skin tone, the lighting on my face and all that on this particular example, right? Remember? So you see this? It's basically keeping the hairstyle, the lighting on the face, and all that kind of stuff to match it. Very important if you think about it, right? So we factored that in and we added that technology across the board. So no need for face swap. Okay. So let me be very clear on that. No need for any face swap or any of that older technology. This is less next generation character consistency, lighting effects, and similarity engine that we've added in. That's never been there before, makes it really powerful, right? And also matches with the lips and the syncing and the quality itself, right? So pretty cool. Okay, so the other thing I'm going to talk about is the other couple of features in the meantime, but you got the point, right? Of all the cool things that we've done here. And that's, yeah, there we go. The Greek god Zeus right here is generated. You see this now? So to answer your question, the question was, can I create personalities from scripture or whatever religion and stuff? Yes, there we go, right? So Greek mythology, I created one character. Always do it in cartoon because it's a little bit more better in terms of what you can achieve with realism. Sometimes, it might not be as perfect. So always do it this way. Okay. Now you can make the Greek god Zeus talk. And now what you can even do, go to next step. You see what we did in terms of that's a new thing we added is you see this called the automatic talking video mode. Okay, so what this automatic talking video mode does effectively is that it will make the hand movements natural without you having to do the hand movements and picking the hand movement options. Does that make sense? So one of the things often, right, is that when we did Talking Photos initially, we gave you a bunch of these styles, right? No hand movements, with hand movements and stuff like that. And oftentimes, in reality is you just don't want to even pick. You don't know what hand movements are natural. You don't know what to. So what we did is the AI automatically detects the scene. So in this particular case, Zeus in front of the castle, or Zeus in this particular case had this lighting. You see the sun is beaming this way to the face. All these other attributes it's going to take, and it's going to add lip sync based upon that. Okay, does that make sense? So for example, if I pick this, it will automatically add the hand gestures and motions and stuff automatically. Now, if you're not happy with what AI generated, of course, we gave you these samples and options that you can pick, right? These are the new V3 ones, which are super cool compared to in the past, right? So again, if you see, it shows the preview as well of the image right here, so you can test it. So again, if you want it, you can generate it, and now you can give it. And again, remember I told you the CloneVoice.ai integration, same thing we did here, where you can do text to speech, okay? You can record your own voice, you can import audio, or you have the CloneVoice.ai integration, okay? So here, so I can bring in my voices that I've cloned in the past. So I have Alice clone, I have my clone Paul Realistic, you see, Paul December, all my voices from Clone Voice that I've cloned. For those who are not familiar with Clone Voice, I'll talk about the integration in just a bit. This is another sister application of ours that we've done a direct integration into. So now you can bring your clone voices. Let's say you want to bring in, or you want to do one of our public library voices, right? So Phoenix Herald, I want Zeus to sound like that. It says, I am the Greek god Zeus, the most feared and revered God. Let's say that's basically right. And then I can do that. And then now what it's doing is it's getting the clone voice integration of this voice and it's bringing it into the application. That is step number one. Or you can do it basically with text to speech. Up to you. You decide. Okay. We did this integration in this way. So for example, if you saw my earlier point, if you went into singing V3, right? Remember, we did singing V3, whatever option you picked, let's say, and you went in here, choose previous character. Let's say I choose one of my previous characters, which you can do, previous generated ones. Okay. And then you see here, I can go over here, clone voice. This does songs for a song, automatically picks the clone voice generated songs. Now, the next step is it creates the actual audios as well from clone voice. Okay. So you have both options. You have the voices or you have the songs that you can bring in and merge it into this. And now you can have these characters speak or sing in that language and in that particular voice tonality and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to mention here real quick as well is that because of the fact that you no longer need to swap faces, you get more flexibility on what you can achieve. So, for example, what does that mean exactly? Well, so when you go into create video, and then when you go into human video, let's say, and then I go into create new character, and then I choose my any of my images. So this image, let's say, with me, let me actually put the other one. I'll show you an example. So should be here, I think. Yeah, here. So this is here, right? I think it's in front of the kitchen or something. So I have to put a male, and then I can say the man is wearing a blue suit, right? So a blue suit and tie. And then you just can put continue, let's say. So now what happens here? So I'll show you an example because let's say it can take a few seconds to generate, but I'll show you an example of this, how this appears. All right. So because it's really, really cool what you can achieve now, which you couldn't do before. Right. And it makes it really, really powerful in terms of the ability to give you that flexibility, if you will, on that really high quality outputs. Because before you'd have to do face swap and you had to do all kinds of mumbo jumbo stuff, and it would not be the best approach. So here, so this is the generated video of mine. So here, watch this.
Will my procedures hurt? Do you accept my insurance? Or even, do you perform the advanced procedures that I need?
So pretty cool, right? So it's me talking with the background in place. I change the clothing, right? So that's the idea. So you can turn that image, keep the background in motion, keep all the lighting and everything, and add clothing effects and stuff. It's very powerful because in cases we have one photo of ours and you want to create a video of that with our voice, which you can do now with clone voice integration effectively because you have the cloned voice of yours, you can do all that cool stuff now with this. Pretty cool, right? To think about it. So that's the basic idea. See this? Again, here in this particular case, I have this. Look at that, right? I can convert that into a video. I started off here. This is the image. So the original image was this. And then I generated that, kept the whole background and everything. You can even change the background, by the way. I didn't do it, but I can change it, right? I can put myself on the beach or whatever. And now I can make this talk. Okay. Are you getting ideas now? You see what I'm talking about? Because now that means you never have to be in front of the camera. You can now create this kind of stuff on the fly and really, really be able to create perfect lip sync videos and have full control over it. And you see another cool thing with it, with the framing is straight. So the lip sync is always perfect. You don't have to worry about prompting. You don't have to be like a genius when it comes to prompting and stuff like that, right? So that's the basic idea. That's the main way we simplified this whole process for you, okay? So that's the aspect of it. Now, the other thing is that, of course, even though you can do up to 5 minutes of lip sync and about 3.5 minutes or whatever of songs, the idea here is that when you're going to merge videos, you can merge multiple videos. So for example, I can merge this video, right? And I can add this video of me and all that, and I can generate an even longer length video. Okay, so this is video merger is included here effectively right out of the gate. Okay, it's been there. We've improved it a little bit more so it's faster and stuff. And you'll see here in the tools, you have add subtitles, replace background, and add watermark and other stuff that we've added in. You can actually go to the tutorial section here and you'll be able to go and access this and see what all stuff we've added. And if you go in here in tutorial section, you'll see all the new stuff we've added in here. And we'll be adding more tutorials, by the way, as time goes on. All right. So that's the other thing that we've done when it comes to making sure that you can create even longer length videos with lip sync and stuff like that. Because other platforms, the problem these days when it comes to lip sync, unfortunately, is either it's 5 seconds long only or 10 seconds long only, or even if it's longer, now it's by the minute you're billed or by every 5 seconds or whatever, like I showed you some examples. And effectively now you're stuck because you have to think 100 times, because if something didn't come out as you wanted, you have to now pay more and more and more money, right? Because we don't have any credits for Talking Photos to worry about. You can just create, even if you make mistakes a couple of times or you didn't like the clothing here or whatever, you can go ahead and basically be able to, do cool things accordingly, right? Now, the other thing that we've done as well that I kind of wanted to mention here real quick is basically if you think about it, right? Like we removed the ability, like for example, to even need face swap and other old school stuff. That makes your life easy, consistency of the character and stuff. The other thing that we've done is if I want to convert myself into a cartoon, you can do that too. So for example, you can go to 2D, 3D cartoon. So you're going to create video, 2D, 3D cartoon, let's say, and then you go next. So now what I can do is I can put male here. And again, I'll choose my own photo. I'll show you an example. Or let's say I keep showing my photo, right? Let's just do some other random photo actually. So let's just see here. Let me see some images here. Let's see if I can find some. All right. So I have this this image right here. Okay. So this person, right? This lady, lovely lady here. All right. So I click select. So now I want to turn her into a 3D character, right? A 3D character wearing a white sweater and like standing in front of her cartoon coffee shop, let's say, or something like that, right? You see that right here. And now what it's going to do is it's going to take her face similarity and generate a 3D character version of that as well. Okay. So that's the basic idea here. Okay. Does that make sense? So we take that and then we apply that effectively. Okay. So that's the goal we are trying to achieve here. Okay. So effectively now, once you see the image, it's going to create like a cartoon version of it from a human sound. So you can even upload your own photos and make it a cartoon character effectively from that style, if you will. Okay. So yeah, there you go. See this? Do it. Now, one thing I made a mistake on here is I didn't specify the age, if you see, right? So if like, let's say a 3D 65-year-old, right, woman, character wearing a white sweater. So you see, she's a little bit younger here, right, obviously. So now I put like an age that I would add in, and then I will make her a little bit older, if you will, to match, right, the similarity, if you will. Okay, so that's the basic idea. And the other thing that I wanted to mention as well is that the main goal here, okay, is that we will only keep things better and better. Okay, we'll make things a lot more better with time, because once people start using it and start using it in different use cases and stuff, it's only going to allow us to make things even better and better as time goes on, right? So that's the goal. Yeah, see, there you go. Most subscriptions eliminated. That's the goal. We want to eliminate you from buying subscription plans, because what's happening right now is this. Okay, you look at applications out there right now. A lot of them, what they're basically moving into is the recurring subscription and the credits-based system. It's like the worst of both worlds, right? It's like if somebody told you, look, I'll charge you $97 a month, let's say, and for that, I'll give you unlimited video generation, unlimited, let's say, voice generation, and unlimited lip sync. It would have meant something. Then you could juxtapose Talking Photos with that $97 a month plan, and you could even argue, okay, fine, I'm going to pay it for a few months as I need it. Now what they're telling you, every single platform out there, okay, they're saying, okay, we'll give you $97 a month, but only unlimited text generation or speech generation. But you want our image to video generation? Well, there's credits now for it. Or you want us to add a song lip sync? Now there's special credits. You got to pay for that. Or you want 1080p quality, not like lower quality? There's new credits for that. And this is what's happening. You can go test it out and you can see. And it's sad because, we use all the applications and you're seeing it more and more. So that's the reason why, if you notice it, like, we are actually integrating clone voice and this, right, together. So now I want to talk a little bit about the integration aspect because it makes a lot more sense now, right? So for example, to look at my videos, let me go into my videos here. So if I'm trying to, let's say, create like, let's go down here, right? Like I showed you earlier, like my video here. Like if I'm trying to create a video like this, I want it to be me, right? I want it to be my voice. Like if this is Paul, I want it to be my voice, right? If it's me speaking, it should be my voice, right? So basically what we're doing effectively here is, this is the reason why we're bringing clone voice.ai integration. So you can bring in your clone voices into Talking Photos, which allows you to not only make your own face or cartoon version of your face or whatever, but also make it actually be able to speak with your own voice. Okay. Now, I have an update for you that's going to be coming up soon, which is exciting. Okay. And I'll show you how this integration is going to come. The update is in Clone Voice. We're going to do that, and the integration will come into Talking Photos. Is this okay? So sing in your own voice as well with Clone Voice. Okay, this is something our team is working internally. So what that means is, let's say the integration I mentioned, right, with Clone Voice. So let's open up the Clone Voice application here. Yeah, here we go. So in Clone Voice, right, if you see here, now the basic idea is that you can clone a voice. So you can go in voice, you can upload a voice, whatever, right? You can upload a voice and then you give it a name, and then now you clone your own voice, right? And then when you're going to create music, remember I told you the V2 music and stuff, this V2 version is the best in terms of music generation, it's songs, vocals, and all that, and also for lip sync. Because what we did is we, from the ground up, we actually made our lip sync module for songs in Talking Photos integrate directly with the V2 version, because we're going to keep developing the V2 version, right, of Clone Voice. So the lip sync is even better than if you uploaded and imported a song from somewhere or whatever, because of the fact that that same team worked on Clone Voice's music generation algorithm and also Talking Photos' lip sync. So we had that merging happen, which is another reason why you want to link both applications together. So if you don't have Clone Voice, definitely get it. It's going to help Talking Photos video generation even more, right? So anyway, now in here, you see, we don't have the ability for you to upload your own voice. So what we are working on right now, and that's going to be available next week, I'll show you, is we'll have a field right here for you to upload, right? You can upload your you speaking or your voice, right? So you're going to say your voice. Let's say we're going to have this. And then when you upload your voice, it's going to sing in your tonality, your voice style and stuff, okay? Which makes it even more cooler now, because when you do the integration, when you bring your songs back into Talking Photos, and if I'm doing it where, let me just show you here, right? If I'm doing it where I'm singing like this, then having Paul sing, right? Like this. If it's me singing, like having Paul sing with my voice, right, makes more sense too, in a way, right? Rather than somebody that doesn't even sound like me effectively. So that means if you want to create videos or you want to create a model, right? Like you want to create an AI model. Let's say, for example, this is my AI model, right? Her name is Susan. I just named her Susan right now. If Susan wants to be my AI model, where I can create an Instagram account or a YouTube Shorts account on, or TikTok account on, and she's the one who's going to sing, and she's the one who's going to be the person, you can do that now, because you can give Susan a unique voice that will sound unique to her every single time. It's not going to sound like an AI generated song, if you will, right? And you can even generate a specific voice for her in Clone Voice. And that way it's a unique character that you created that is something that you can reuse every single time. Does that make sense? Pretty powerful, right? Let me know if it's making sense to you. So now what I'm going to do is, the number one biggest question is, okay, I have Clone Voice, I have Talking Photos. How do I integrate both? Let me show you that as well right now. Then I'll answer some questions as well, because it's easily the most important integration for you, because now you can either create an AI generated character, or you can even generate yourself like so, right? I'll mute this for now, but you can generate yourself like this, and then basically add your own song in your own voice, and also you speaking in your own voice, right? Because of the cloning technology that's available in Clone Voice. And again, this is private to you, obviously, right? So none of your clone voice will ever be shared to anybody else, okay? We understand the importance of privacy and everything else, okay? So Let me show you the integration so that it's just so easy to do, but it's very important because most of you already have CloneVoice.ai and most of you, if not every one of you, has talking photos anyways, right? So anyway, so let me actually show you that right now. And again, keep posting any questions you have in the chat box as well. I'll be happy to answer them as we go along. All right. So let me show you the integration aspect of it. I'll zoom in my screen so you can see it as well. Right. The first feature update that we made is to video. I'm going to show you how to integrate CloneVoice.ai songs and voices into TalkingPhotosAI. Now, the way this works is now, so just a couple of points here while I'm showing you my screen on this. So you need both applications. You need CloneVoice.ai and the TalkingPhotosAI application. You need to buy both of them to be able to use this integration. Okay, that's the update that we made. So if you go in to your TalkingPhotosAI application, you see that part where it says clone voice right beside text to speech. That's what I mean. All right. So it will pop up into your account. And now I'll show you how to integrate both because there's going to be a special key you can put both together. All right. Is that clear? So let me show you that right now. So let me zoom in my screen right now again. Very simple. First things first, you go into your CloneVoice.ai application. So this is your main application. You just go in, you're going to go into this tab, which is the profile like so, and you're going to basically go in and go to settings and then scroll down and you're going to see your API key. You can even regenerate a new one if you don't have one. So now you just click on copy. You're going to copy this key. Now you're going to go back to Talking Photos. And then in Talking Photos, there is a tab like so, it says profile. You're going to click on that profile and then you're going to paste this key right here. Okay. And then click save. Once you've saved, it's going to appear in two specific places. So create video, and under create video, it's going to show up under singing V3 and then under choose audio. When you go there, you're going to see here, choose audio, import audio, or CloneVoice.ai. So in here, you just click on import clone voice music for music files when you click on that. And then here, as you can see here, Paul, all these songs are showing up. Paul rap song, opera song, and so on and so forth. Now, well, you can select that. Now, quick thing, in the application, under if you go into my audios, your music files will show up. They will show up as V1 or V2. So what does that mean exactly? So under create music, you see where it says create music of V2. So just to be clear, we allow both V1 and V2, but V2, music generated V2 has extraordinarily better actual lip sync in Talking Photos. The reason why is that in V2 version, we've optimized the lip sync technology, specifically our team, because it's a newer technology. We've optimized that so the lip sync is way better if it's V1 or if you uploaded the music from elsewhere. In other words, if you did import audio instead, this feature, the lip sync would be worse than if you used CloneVoice.ai integration and then the V2 model. You see, we have that note mentioned here, correct? So that is very important to understand. Secondly, similarly, the other way you're going to use the integration is create video, and under human video or 3D, 2D, whatever, you click on this option and then you go to choose audio. You're going to see that under CloneVoice.ai integration right here. You click on that. And then here you can use the voices that are design voices and public library voices, see like e-learning instructor and that sort of thing. These you select by going back in here and then under my actual voices you see here, you can actually click on an option called export voices. You're just going to click on export voices and you're going to select what you want added in there, like e-learning instructor, scene narrator, whatever you want here, for example. And then you click on basically export of these audios. Okay, so ones which I already export, I'm not going to put them in here, but like I can export the ones which I want. For example, I want Paul realistic, I want radio show presenter, and then I want happy hippo, whatever. Okay, and it's going to click export and then click right here, and then that says successfully exported these three voices. Now they will appear when you refresh this page. they will appear under clone voice and then public library, and you're going to see Frost Mage, and under design voice you're going to see some more like this I happy hippo and stuff. Okay, that's how the integration works. So thanks for watching, and all right, so let me just show you a couple of things because people were asking this question. I saw this as well earlier. See, I took the API. I did what you asked me, Paul. How does it sync the audios? Okay, so a couple of things we noticed. Hey, we all make mistakes, right? So what happens, get two things to remember, all right? So when you do the API key, using the same process I showed you just now, clone voice and then talking photos. So what you have to do, just make sure you understand this. You're going to go into your clone voice.ai application. Okay, so in other words, the question is, okay, so I'll explain to you what the question is for those who are wondering, okay, I don't understand the context of it. Okay, so the idea is, okay, so if I wanted to create a human video, let's say, okay, and then I go into choose audio here, I put clone voice, I put my voices are saying not available or something like this, correct? How do we solve it? Because I put a bunch of voices. So there's two reasons why this occurs. Okay. So first reason is don't jump steps straight to choose audio. Okay. Because we need to get the gender and other information. Correct. So what you would do, if I go back here, okay, you're in create human video, whatever, doesn't matter. Go to create, or let's say choose previous character, right? I will just pick this lovely lady here. Now, because I chose a lady now, right? Gender. Okay. Now what happens now when I go to clone voice? See, if I don't have any clone voices of a female, it will not show up, okay? It will show up specifically like female oriented voices, for example, under the cloned or design voices. So now on the same token, in the same direction, if I go in here and I go into, I put male, right? And then I generated a 30-year-old male wearing a suit with a gray beard. I'm just making up something just for fun. All right. So now they have a gray beard or whatever. Now it's a male, right? So in that clone voice, if I cloned a male voice under the category, let's say next, you see this, if this gentleman is right here, and then right here, you go to clone voice, it will now show up. You see this under cloned? It says language and then voice, you see? So I have all the male cloned voices appear here. You see Paul's voice, and then this is another Paul voice and stuff. So just make sure you do all the steps and make sure that the gender matches. It's very important because for our lip sync, we need to know what gender it is to make it work well. That's probably the reason number one why this thing did not work for you if you did the integration as I just showed you earlier. Now, the second reason why this could occur, okay, just wanted to mention, is in some cases, maybe you also are trying to do public library or design voices, okay? So what these are, effectively, if I go back into the clone voice application, if you're going to the public library voices, right? This just basically, I went up here, right? Now here, you see there's these, like these unique voices here, right? Of all these people, for example. Now, let's say I want to add a flight attendant with smooth, calm voice. So I will put the plus icon, copy to my voices. Okay. So you see this? It came up here. Now, next thing you're going to do is you're going to go up to these three dots, and then you're going to go to my voices. Okay. See this? Three dots and then my voices. And then you're going to basically go and click on this option right here. You see this? Export voices. Okay. So basically what we're trying to achieve, okay, why we're doing this is that we want you to select the voices you want to be exported to show up into, for example, in this case, Talking Photos or Video Express or one of our applications. We don't want to show 5,000 voices and then you're going to keep scrolling down for like hours, right? Just not fun. So I go click on Export Voices. I click on the flight attendant with smooth tone. You see gender is female, so that's important. And then click Export Selected. Again, it's going to say you want to do so. Yes. So now what it's going to do is it's going to appear under the exported voices. Okay, you're going to see it. See this flight attendant. So now what's going to happen is this voice is ready, right? This voice is basically ready to appear now in your Talking Photos application, provided your gender is effectively a female. Okay, so let me show you that. So if I go back to your create video, then I go back here, let's say human video, whatever. I choose gender, I choose female here, right? 30-year-old brunette wearing a green dress or something, right? Whatever, green suit. I don't know, thinking of something. All right, so now And then you basically, now you generate, now I'm going to put that flight attendant voice to her matching. Okay, so let's say this is the one. So now let's say I just put the automatic mode, for example. So you go to clone voice, and then now you'd want to do this public library voices and this designer voices and stuff like that will appear under this voice selection. Okay, once you did the API key. Just make sure though that you're not changing the key again and again. So it's one key that links to both accounts. All right. Does that make sense? So that's the basic idea. Hope that answered your question. And of course, we have tutorials on this, by the way, step by step. So you don't have to worry about it realistically. So every step of the way, we have that option for you. So okay, we're worried about it there. So again, let me show you where it appears here. Okay. So here, public library, you see this flight attendant with smooth tone. See, it appeared here. You see? So that's how you can do it dynamically like this. And it will automatically show up in the integration like so. All right. So that is the basic idea. So again, for those who want to get CloneWise, if you don't have it, of course, you can just go get it at clonevoice.ai, basically. So effectively, if I show my screen right now, you see clonevoice.ai. You go to clonevoice.ai and then TalkingPhotosAI. If you don't have Talking Photos, which most of you should, but if not, go over there and you get it. There should be a discount coupon on the page itself to get deals on that, of course. Again, very good idea to get both. Okay. The reason why is what's happening right now. Even if you see these so-called recurring subscription applications out there, they're just saying, go get your 11 Labs API key, right? Go buy 11 Labs as subscription, whatever, because they have a better cloning system than what we do. So whoever, like, imagine, for example, if I show you some of the examples I showed you earlier, right? So for example, these, remember like this Kling thing or this other applications out there that I showed you, sync.so, which is $5 a minute or whatever. They basically are good with lip syncing, but not voice cloning, or not in terms of like generating the audios, right? So they'll say, go use 11 Labs or something else. And now you got to pay another subscription, another credits-based system. So instead, what the better option is, right, is just go in here and then use Clone Voice, which is the best voice cloning, music generation, song generation. Now you can sing with your own voice. It's going to clone your voice to sing, and then you don't have to be a professional singer to do so. In the next week, that's the new update coming in. So now these things can be easily linked back into your Talking Photos application, which is awesome now, because you can now create videos with your voice, another clone voice, and stuff like that. Another question that came in, which relates to this topic, which was a good question, was effectively, I mentioned something, right, which was about the character Susan, right? Can you create that Susan and be the Susan's unique voice? So this was Little Busy Brains. Very good question. So earlier, what I mentioned was, I go back into the Talking Photos application, right? So let me actually pull that up here real quick. So let's say, for example, if I go in here, so this is me. Let's say this is me playing a guitar, right? Let's say, for example, let's say this is me. All right, now that's my face, but this is an AI generated character, correct? So this is an AI generated character. So now this was from a photo. Now the idea here is I could create an AI character unique to me. So what I would do is, let's say, for example, in Clone Voice, how I would do this workflow, very simple. I would go into the public library in Clone Voice. So you see this public library, Clone Voice public library. And then what I would do is I would find something like this, like healthcare explainer or e-learning instructor, or even I could even use one of this, let's say, for example, the ability for you to do voice maker, right? I can do a professional voice maker or creative voice maker. I can create a professional voice maker where I can say a 60-year-old British woman, right? So I can say a 60-year-old British accent woman or something, you just make up something, and then you can create professional voice, and then it'll generate a voice as well from a prompt. If you don't want public library, that has 7,000 voices, right? So what you could do then is this voice that got generated, that will become Susan, right? So next time around, when you export her voice and you bring it into Talking Photos, you name her Susan, Susan will be the voice. Or alternatively, let's say, for example, I decide to have healthcare explainer, let's say, right? This is a female. So let's add her in, and then I go into my voices here, for example, right? And I could basically 60-year-old woman, I name her Susan as an example, right? Okay, let's say. And then healthcare explainer, I'll just say, Susan V2, right? Some example. Now I change the name, right? So now what I can do, I can export and I can name these two, and then I would export selected, and then I would select yes. So now under the export voices, exported voices, I have these two, correct? So now what is the benefit here for this one? To answer your question, I can go back to Talking Photos like so. So let me open up here. So this is Susan, right? This corresponds to Susan. So every time that I try to create a Susan's video with her. So let's say, for example, create video, I go to human video, and then I basically go into new character, or I choose from a previous character, let's say, I can pick that character, right? So in that particular case, I would have Susan's character. Like as an example, like I have her photo here. I'll show you real quick here. So like I will just upload her photo as an example going forward. Simple. So that's the basic, just in a nutshell, the idea here. Okay. So I'll just upload that character, or you can even generate a new character. So like I can say 75-year-old grandmother wearing a white sweater. I'm just making up, right? With gray hair and wrinkles under her blue eyes, let's say. Okay. And then I generate. So now the idea is that here it's basically generating, a character that I can save, I can download. You see, if this is the character, I can download the character right now. So you see that, that's the image. And now going forward, I can upload this image in here, like, or in my media library as well. And I can upload it, like I can add a folder. I can add a folder called Susan, click save. And then I can upload this. You see, this is a file called upload. And then I can add Susan's image there. Does that make sense? Pretty cool, right? So I can drag and drop her like so. And now basically this is Susan now. You see, it says image, whatever. I select her. So there you go. Going forward, you can use her now as your character. And then when you go back into voices, we select go next. I'll just put automatic for the time being. And then I click clone voice here. Okay, clone voice. I do that. Now here, you can go into the public library section under the category, and then I can go in here. You're going to see this, Susan V2 voice is right here. And then you'll also have Susan's voice as well. Okay. So if I put Susan V2, and then you can just write any text. And now that's a unique voice to that character that you created. That folder you created, for example. Pretty cool, right? So it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of like creating character consistency, creating videos of that person, and also making sure that if you're creating longer length videos down the line with different clothing changes or environment changes and stuff, you can definitely use and do this as well. Okay, pretty powerful. Must be giving you a lot of ideas there, right? So basically that is effectively what this really cool update is about. So now let me actually, because there's this smaller features here. You can go watch tutorials, pretty straightforward stuff, like a resize video and stuff that you can definitely check out how you can resize in different dimensions, add, for example, slider titles and bars and stuff like that, to make a video go more viral and stuff like that. Pretty straightforward. So let me give you a quick recap. We covered a lot of things today. So I'll give you a quick recap, and then I'll explain to you what's coming soon and what are the other cool things to watch out for. All right. So first things first, to give you a quick recap. In Talking Photos V3, we've added singing V3. Okay. This is different from this option, which used to be in the past was singing and dancing. It's way better now because no more face swap, nothing. It's real character being generated with actually any uploaded photo or even generated from a prompt. Okay. Under singing V3, you have three choices. Okay, you're going to have, if you want the highest quality lip sync, you're going to use the close up. It's going to take a longer to generate, but it's going to be the highest quality lip sync. Okay, by far the best in the industry. No question about it. Now, if you want, if you want a little bit faster generation with a little bit lesser quality lip sync, depending, right, you will have a close up fast. Okay, you're going to use this option. Or you want a character playing an instrument, right? And singing like a guitar, electric guitar, drums, let's say violin, piano, right? Where the lips are visible, not like a trumpet or not like a flute right? Where the lips are closed, how are you going to make them sing, right? So that's the basic idea of that. So you can generate. Now, here, the beauty is that you can effectively, based upon any one of these choices that you make, effectively now, if you choose close up high quality, and then you do that, you have options for aspect ratio. And also, if you go in here, you can pick 3D, human, and stuff as well. Okay. Animal as well. So for the singing aspect. Okay. Male and female is the other choice that you can pick. And then you can give any prompt and create a character as well if you want, or you can upload your own photo and then add the lip sync. Okay. And then of course I showed you some example videos of myself. Like this is me with the guitar, for example, like this right here. And this is me with the close up, for example. Like you see, the close-up is a lot more high quality, if you notice, because we're focusing so much on the face, right? So it's a lot more higher quality because of this. And it has to maintain the facial similarity and all that, right? So these are the two choices. Alternatively, you also have the ability to create a cartoon character off of your upload photo of whatever version you want and be able to generate the videos as well, up to you. Now, the other option that we did, the new feature that came in, is replicate motion, where you can now effectively just give a video, like a referenced video, and then it takes that video and then it can mimic or replicate, in this case, that motion and also that speech if the person is speaking or whatever. And the beauty here for this one is, in many cases, let's say me creating this video right now, I can create this video and turn myself into a cartoon character or a female, or I can change myself into something else, right? And the beauty here is that I don't have to be in front of the camera, and I can create really fun, cool videos and also create a professional character. Remember I explained to you about that Susan example, right? So in that particular case, I go in here next. What I would do, I'll just go into like a character that I picked. So let's say, for example, I go next and then like I create a new character. Let's say I can pick one of my existing characters like Susan here. Let's say I pick her. So this is the person I want to effectively emulate a video that I created. Okay. And now why are we still asking for the prompting? They're asking for the prompting because you want to change the clothing of that person, or you want to change your hairstyle slightly and stuff like that. You can do so. So for example, and you obviously want the close up too, right? So you can say the woman is wearing let's say black leather jacket and tied her hair back or something like that, right? And then you can generate. So now what it's going to do is it's going to basically create a photo of this likeness, zoomed in, high quality, consistent character, like so. You see this? So that's the basic idea of like hair back and all that kind of stuff. And again, you have different options to work with, right? So that is the reason why we did that. I mean, of course, you can do 3D cartoon and stuff like that as well. Same thing with aspect ratio and stuff like that. So now what you can do is you take that character and then you give them a motion, right? Any from any motion you upload from a video or whatever you want to do, and then it will effectively replicate that video throughout. Okay, makes it a lot fun, right? Like a lot of really cool ways you can achieve that, basically to make some really cool effects that way. And of course, the beauty here is that you can keep the background as is, or you can completely change the environment itself. And you can use the dynamic zoom, which is going to allow you to have a little bit higher quality effects as well. So it'll preserve the character a little bit better and stuff, which if you want to check this toggle if you want to. Okay. Now, the other thing that we did is we improved the lip sync system throughout the process. So for example, whether it's human or 3D or choices that you picked, like no matter what you did here, what we did effectively is before, okay, you had to do face swapping and all that stuff. You don't have to do that now. The other thing, if I pick the character, let's say I pick this lovely lady here. Now, the other thing is the motion. We've added automatic video mode now. So what that means effectively is this mode will automatically create the hand movements and the gestures and all that, depending on the character. Like if it's a female, it'll do female style hand movements. Maybe if it's a male, same way, and also facial expressions and stuff will be automatic. If you want to pick one of the other existing ones, depending on what you're trying to achieve, you can pick any one of these templates as well. Up to you. You decide what works. We would generally recommend automatic mode if for creative purposes, simplicity purposes, and stuff like that. That's why we did that. Before, we didn't have it. You have to be stuck with these existing motions. Sometimes may not be realistic for certain characters, right? So automatic mode will solve that issue. And again, we also did the clonevoice.ai integration for speech as well as for songs. Okay, So now you can bring in your own cloned voices from our other application, clonevoice.ai, music, songs, and stuff like that. And a new update you're working on, which will be talked about next week, which is this one right here, coming soon. Sing with your own voice and clone voice. So that means you have a song that you sang with your voice, it cloned your voice and it sang in your voice. That new update, that also can be brought in here. So in other words, if I have videos like this one with my own likeness, it'll sing with my voice. Right now, it's not possible anywhere else. So because of that integration, it makes more realism now, right? If I'm talking, video will sound like me, singing video will sound like me effectively. Okay. So that's the basic idea. So in a nutshell, those are the updates. We have other cool things coming up in the next coming up videos as well, where we're planning on it, training stuff like this. Watch out for our tutorial section or our Facebook group. We'll be posting more updates there in the coming days, of course, like this one right here. That's the Facebook URL. You can join our Facebook group, and we'll be posting some new cool case studies and updates and stuff, because we're working on some really cool things and improving this application even more based on your feedback, obviously. And then the other thing that I recommend you is watch the tutorial section and watch these, okay? We're adding more and more tutorials here. You see this Clone Voice AI and Talking Photos AI integration? This is the video you want to watch to integrate both applications, right? Very easy to implement, simple, and it links really well. And it's very important that we link it properly too, because we want to make sure that, it links from account to account and never goes beyond that. So your Clone Voice only remain within your account ecosystem, right? And that way it gets the best results possible, and also there's no security issues down the line, right? That's the basic idea. All right, so hope that is clear for folks. I'll answer a couple of questions that are coming in right now, and then what I will do is we'll continue with our Facebook group, more stuff, so that I want to watch people watch the replay after this live stream is done. And I also want to make sure that if you came in late, you can watch this again on YouTube right away, so without missing some things, right? So the other question that came in is Artistly integration. Yes, the next step would be that we're going to be working on Artistly integration. So the way that would work, just for reference, Artistly is an image generation application, right? So the way it will work is, you see how for every aspect of it, where you say, for example, like singing, and we go close up or whatever, and then you see where it says create character, and it says here, see, drag and drop or upload a file or choose from media library. So Artistly images will show up in the media library. We're going to put it in one of the folders here. So that will be the next. The guys are working on it, so it should be up down the line. So you can bring your Artistly created characters, your favorite characters from storybooks and stuff like that there, and create character consistency here. Okay. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention as well is the concept of like integration that we are planning on here. See what's happening right now. It's about use cases, right? The end result. The last thing we want you to do is, okay, you got TalkingPhotosAI and you're creating these beautiful singing videos, but it's not going to be your voice. Well, that's not going to be fun long term. So we're going to be adding that feature into Clone Voice to integrate it and sing like you. Because as a Clone Voice customer now, you have the world's best cloning of voice and singing and music and all that. And then you bring it into lip sync, right? Pretty easy integration, straightforward. Both of our developers are together, same team. So therefore, any specific things you want to fix, we'll fix it. Now, the next thing similarly is that, let's say, for example, the other thing as well that came in that you folks wanted to know, right, is Artistly integration stuff. That's also being worked on. And finally, the other thing is we don't want you to get external applications and external credits and all that kind of mumbo jumbo stuff, which will cost you more money, and it's very frustrating. You see, this is the point I wanted to make to answer this question, which is becoming common in our industry right now. It's frustrating to me. Let me know in the chat box, it's frustrating to you. The main issue is it's easy for us to say, hey, you want the best lip sync model? Okay, what we're going to do, go to this platform has the best lip sync in here. It costs $5 a minute. Go to this platform, this File.ai platform, go in here and take this API key here, right? This key that they give you, give it to us in our application and pay them that $5 per minute or $1 a minute, whatever. In this case, $5, right? Easy. That's what all these other companies are doing, right? Easy to go integrate something, charge you by the minute, charge you by the credit, credits, charge you by the month, whatever. What we are actually doing is so hard. That's why it takes so long. Like we could do it like what this website does. That somebody mentioned this earlier, which is to say, okay, Studio V 2.5, you see this 19 minutes will allow you to create, but the latest update, which does the latest greatest stuff, it's 16 minutes only. Oh, too bad. You want one more? Buy this $100 a month plan or pay credits, right? Or same thing. You want 1080p video, which is what Talking Photos automatically does natively. Well, 18 minutes only. You want that? New plan or buy more credits. And that doesn't come with basically some of the components like singing in your own voice, multilingual voice cloning, stuff like that, right? And this is the issue. You want to go this approach. And then the other problem is now if Google comes with the next technology or somebody else comes with, like OpenAI comes with it, now again, extra credits for that new stuff, right? And this is what's happening across the industry. And it's sad because now what happens is the easy route, even for us, is say, okay, Talking Photos V1, thank you for buying. Now V2, we're not going to do any free updates. The update is go basically and integrate with this API or whatever. Go pay Google for every, whatever it is, $3 per minute or whatever, and go use your videos. Easy to do, right? Very easy. But if we have to actually include it as a part of one purchase you paid one time, like a long time ago, that takes programming resources, that takes machine learning resources, because we got to figure out how a Google is doing something or how one of these other platforms are doing it and still be cost effective and affordable for you, right? And that itself is the hardest challenge in the world. And that's why I want you to understand, we hear your feedback, right? Things get better and better with time, just as with everything else. But understand that no platform out there can do 5 minutes worth of lip sync per video for like a one-time price without any credits. No platform out there can allow you to do image to video like what we're allowing you to do, where you can just upload, like you see these examples where like you just upload a video, an image, and make her talk like this, right? For example, with perfect lip sync and stuff, or singing and stuff, an AI generated character without credits and without limits, and then asking you to upgrade for the next year for 1080p quality or whatever you have to do, right? And this is extremely, extremely difficult. And this is the reason why I always try to explain, we have that Facebook group community and all that of such loyal people like yourself who appreciate the hard work we do. And it does take a lot of headaches on our part, right? Because we're doing the hard part. We're not doing the easy thing. The easy thing is, oh, OpenAI came with this new thing, or pay extra for OpenAI, bring that OpenAI key and do it. Now what we're telling you is, hey, you already bought Clone Voice application of ours, which is the best voice cloning tool. Doesn't come with any credits or any extra mumbo jumbo stuff. You paid once for it. Now that Clone Voice, these voices can be made into videos. Likewise, the videos that you're already creating in Talking Photos, right? All these videos, now you can bring in your own unique voices, your own clone voices, your own songs, music, all that stuff, and then sync it perfectly with lip sync. No need for external applications, external credits, external monthly fees, any of that mumbo jumbo stuff. It's a hard problem, right? And that's why I can tell with confidence, nobody's doing it, okay? Nobody is doing what we're doing right now because it's easy to do the easy route to charge you more money, right? Charge you more in credits, charge you more in monthly fees, charge you more, right? Because then you're going to make money anyways. The point is, how do you make sure that we provide the same value, whether you purchase today or purchase last year? Give you the updates for free, whether you purchase today, purchased like whatever, 400 days ago, right? And on top of that, make sure that that quality is still getting better and better and better with time, and resources are putting in engineering resources and server resources and all that kind of stuff to allow you to still not rely on credits and monthly fees and all that. Why this is important is because at the end of the day, that allows us to provide you the best value, but also be able to effectively make it possible for you to create lots of videos and lots of experiments. You see, what happens is when you create a video like this, right, and you post it into TikTok or YouTube Shorts, your first video may not get much traction. You might create 100 videos, 200 videos, right? These platforms out there which charge credits and monthly fees and stuff, they don't want you to create 200 videos and stuff, because at the end of the day, when you're doing that, it's going to cost you anywhere between $300, $400, $500 or more minimum. If it's a 5-minute video, okay, now you're talking in the thousands of dollars. Then what happens? People try it, they pay that monthly fee, they pay the credits, they get in, and then they try it. And you must have had that issue happen before, where you'll pay for it and then you try it out. it was good, it was not good, whatever. And then next month's payment is coming in, and then you cancel it because you're like, I don't have any use for it right now. I want to use it right when I'm only free on weekends or only free on specific days in the month. Now you're still charging me even with our user or not. I'm renting it. That's the difference, right? We're talking photos, you own it. In these cases, you're renting these platforms. The minute you stop paying monthly, they cancel your account. Too bad, right? And here, the monthly fees and stuff like that. So the idea is that you have that flexibility to continue using it, even if there's some mess ups and stuff like that, right? Are we perfect? Definitely not. But what we do, we're really good at it, and we'll get better with it with your feedback and stuff. What that allows us to do is not put like 1,000 features nobody uses, but really focus on that 5 or 6 or 7 key core factors like voice cloning, like music generation with your own voice, which we're working on now, right? Next week it'll be available. Or, for example, perfect lip sync for songs, perfect lip sync for talking, making longer length videos, ability to merge videos using this merger feature where you can bring in multiple videos and you can merge them and create longer length videos, for example. Ability for you to do the replication videos where you can actually have a video that, let's say like this talking, and then convert into 3D cartoon character or real character and preserve that quality, the hand movements and everything, so that you can do really cool viral effects without you ever being in front of the camera, for example. You can have an AI character do all that work for you. These things will allow you to basically not worry about the next month's payment or our next credit-based system and actually focus on getting better results for your stuff, right? So that's what we are focusing on. Of course, our community, our Facebook group, our support team, and of course, I'll give you our community link here. You can get into our group and join in, and we are always monitoring your feedback and everything else there. And also, by the way, we also recommend you, if you have any issues, for example, in terms of the talking photos, we also have specific ways that you can email our support team, right? So like this is the support email, for example, you can email us there. Just make sure when you're emailing us, please, I'll tell you this. You see this ID here? Like you see this ID here, just send this ID to us whenever you have any project to look at, okay? Similarly, if you go in here, let's say, for example, you're trying to generate, whatever, let's say a human video, and then let's say, okay, let's just do 3D character, right? So let's say you want to generate a 3D character, and then you have a 3D Disney, say cartoon princess in front of her castle, right? Or whatever. And you're generating. So let's say you don't like this generation for whatever reason, right? So you see how we've also added this little gray ID here? Let us know. Hey, the instrument didn't come out that well. Or hey, I was trying to put the guitar in this specific background. Anything I can do with prompting? Let us know with this ID, and we'll be able to troubleshoot it for you, okay? A couple of things I want to mention here, because that way it'll allow us to, okay, to do this image, you went into this category, you did female, and then you picked 3D cartoon, and you did this, right? We can track through the steps with that ID, okay? So just something for us to troubleshoot things easier for you in particular, okay? So a couple of things I want to mention here, okay? And of course, we have our tutorials page where you can watch and walk around through it. And this replay also will be available for you once we're done here automatically, so you can watch this as well, all right? So if you joined in late, I covered a lot of things right away. So just make sure once this ends, make sure that you watch it from the beginning. The first 45 minutes or so, I went straight up every single feature so that you can stop, pause the video, go back, play around with it, go in the application and stuff like that. Okay. Thank you so much for all the feedback as well. And yeah, of course, the support is very quick. We do our best. We have team also working on the weekends, not as fast as weekdays, but we definitely have people working on Saturdays and Sundays to help you out as well. In case some folks, like yourself, are working only on weekends and stuff when you have free time away from the kids or away from work, right? Stuff like that. So for sure, happy to do that for you, right? And there were also questions on what's coming up in terms of the updates and stuff. So the next obvious updates will be the clone voice and then talking photos. And we are also working behind the scenes on some updates for Video Express and also Artistly V7. That should be coming up sometime down the line. And of course, ClickSites V2 and some of the other updates there as well. So all our applications we've been updating quite a bit. The key goal is you update the application is not just enough, but also the idea is to integrate all of them together. So like ClickSites V2 will integrate with Artistly V7. That's why we want to make sure that both of them are talking with each other effectively, talking photos and clone voice, obviously, Video Express and, clone voice integration, and also Video Express and talking photos. You get the point, right? All of them should be integrated so that you have all the ecosystems communicating with each other. That's the goal. Okay. So that's why it takes us a little bit longer as well to push these updates updates and stuff. You want to test everything, right? If things working properly. So that said, watch this replay again after this ends. Looking forward to helping you out, get a lot of cool results. Make sure though, if you have any feature requests and stuff, let us know in the support team for sure, so we have a record. And also you can obviously let us know in our Facebook group and stuff as well, which I mentioned earlier as well. We're always monitoring these to the best of our ability. What we're doing now is we're moving away from roadmaps as well. In fact, if we can do something that you have a feature suggestion on quickly, we'll immediately move there right away. Okay, that's the goal. We want to make sure that we focus on speed of implementation rather than, hey, we'll do it on Q3 2026, which might be like so long that anything can change in this fast moving AI space, right? So that said, have a great day or night wherever in the world. Make sure you let our support team know if you have any issues with this new update. Of course, next week, we'll be talking about that sing in your own voice with clone voice. And of course, some other new updates we're making now, which will be for Talking Photos, some other cool things we're working behind the scenes and improvements. That also will cover next week. But also watch out for our Facebook group. We'll be posting any update we make right away there. The reason why is when we don't want to email you 10 times a week, right? But in Facebook group, we'll post 2 or 3 times a day as updates keep coming in. So definitely join our Facebook group as well. That's the link here as well. So thanks again. Have a great day or night around the world. I wish you all the best, and I look forward to seeing you next week.